Okay, we're now going to think about moving our bones a little in extensions, a little bit flexions, and we're going to look at extension both in a supine position and extension in a prone position. So that is facing down, so facing up extensions, facing down extensions. And I do appreciate that some of you don't have kit at home. Some of you have got rollers, some of you haven't got rollers. It might be that you purchase them. For the foreseeable future we might be filming like so. But I'm going to show you little things that you can use to try to achieve the same effect. So we're going to begin with a little bit of extension in a supine position. Now you all have a mat. So this is quite a thick mat, and obviously it's got these keeping it nice and tightly closed. So I'm going to use this as an alternative roller. I know you all have a mat. If your mat's quite a skinny mat, maybe if you put 1 or 2, maybe even 3 towels into your mat, so you would basically lay the towels here and then start to roll it like so, you'll end up with a much chunkier roll, so to speak. So that's how to make your skinny mat into more of a sort of larger diameter. So we're going to come down to the floor. Please be careful as you come down to the floor. That might be that you just bring it down like so. And we're going to come down and we're going to take either our roller or our mat and we're going to place it just about the base of our shoulder blades, there or thereabouts. And we've done lots and lots of these, so it's exactly as we have been before. And I want you to try and establish as neutral a pelvis as possible. So no really flat backs, no massive arching through the low back. If your neck is troubled by this, then always keeping your hands behind the middle skull, clasped together. I like having the thumbs down both sides of the neck. And the elbows well into peripheral vision. Not clamping yet, but just into peripheral vision. Now you can lift your bottom up, you can move that roller or that mat around a little bit, just until you're nice and comfortable. My feet are hip socket width apart. The knees, imagine there are 2 glasses of water balanced on top of them. And I just want you to think from here about what is holding you up here. It's not your neck, it's not your hands pulling onto your head. It's very much these upper abdominals knitting a little together, the little flexors knitting together in order to hold you up here. So really feeling that you've almost come into the beginnings of a roll-up to keep yourself into this elevated position. Now from here, I want you to begin by taking your head back as though your head, your middle back, your shoulder blades, your sacrum were in a straight line. And then from there, always thinking, lengthen before extension, reach your breastbone along an imaginary low glass ceiling and start to wrap up and around the edge of your roller or the edge of your mat. A little tiny bit of length at the back of the neck. Keep sending your sacrum away from you and lift your head, your neck, your chest all the way back up again. And we're going to repeat that. So always begin, think about stages. Stage 1, nice and level. Stage 2 is the lengthen. The lengthen before the extension. Always imagining that sacrum reaching away from you. And then stage 3, we wrap up and around the edge of the roller or your rolled up mat. A little bit of length at the back of the neck and pick your head, your neck, your chest back up again. So try and do this with flow. So really thinking about those 3 stages, always imagining, how would this feel if I were doing a swan? That would be your face down, prone position. My setup would be a lengthened sacrum, holding on to the bottom ribs as best you can. So it's exactly the same here, lengthen the sacrum. Watch the ribs just aren't flying up towards the ceiling. Please remember that your low back finds this movement easiest. So try and keep the curvature out of the low back. It'll obviously have a little bit of natural curve, really focusing much more onto your middle upper back. And we'll just do one more. Really think about that lengthen first, wrapping up and around the edge of your roller around the edge of the mat, if that's your substitute, lengthening at the back of the neck, and bring your head, your neck, your chest all the way back up again. So we can add a little bit to this, reaching one leg out, reaching the other leg out. Glue those legs together, so that's your upper inner thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, really glued together. Now a little lateral flexion across to one side. Keep your opposite hip really weighted. So for me it's my left hip here. Now we're going to come up and over the edge of the roller. Feel now that you have found the middle of your spine. Come up and around over the edge of the new shoulder blade all the way back to center. So think circles here. Laterally flex to the other side, pushing your opposite hip bone down. Come up and over that shoulder blade. Feel the inside edge of the shoulder blade, now the center of the spine. The new inside edge of the other shoulder blade, the outside edge, and all the way back. And again, coming across to the side. Absolutely stable from the waist down. Rounding, 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 and again, laterally flex to the side, come up to come over. Really feel yourself maneuvering the bones of the middle back. We'll just do one more each side. So coming across, we come up into that lovely extended position, circling around, shortening the waist on this new side, all the way back around and pause. Now, from here, I want you just to think about lengthening for a moment. So you're going to be long and lengthened, and just last little back extension coming up and over. Keep your tail super long and lengthened. This time we've got the straight legs rather than the bent knee that we had at the beginning. A little bit of length at the back of the neck, and bring your head, your neck, your chest all the way back up to pause. So we can try a little bit of roll up from here. With your hands in front of you, gluing those legs, I'm almost going to lighten a little off the roller or off that mat. And then from there, thinking, lift your waist up and out of your pelvis. Imagine you're reaching forwards, the old-fashioned magnet shape that we had last week. And again, shoulder blades stabilize, bringing it down, feel the roller, feel your mat, whichever you're using. Clasp the hands behind the middle skull and wrap up to come over. Remember the principles, lengthen sacrum, bottom ribs in, little bit of length at the back of the neck. Please don't stop breathing. I'm not going to instruct you how to breathe, I want you just to keep breathing in this first little attempt. And again, keep the chin away from the chest, shoulder blades nice and stable. You're going to clasp the hands behind the middle skull. It might be that you just come to here, maybe you're not comfortable going all the way back. But if you can, wrapping up and around the edge of that roller or of your mat. One more, just like this, bringing it forwards, keep the flow, up and over. And on this next one, if you'd like a little progression and you have a good neck, you can start to allow your head to come down. Then the arms would come back. Then you bring the arms up and you would sort of feel the correct angle. Tiny bit of length at the back of the neck. Pick your head, neck and chest up. Coming up to come over. Remember the low hairline gently drawn in. And again, we'll just do one more. Bringing it down. Remember, this is the progressive version. Please take the hands behind the head if that is more appropriate to you. Bringing your arms up. Tiny bit of length at the back of the neck. Pick your head, neck and chest up. Coming up to come over. Taking a lovely stretch, 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 stretch. And then restacking low back, middle back, upper back, and eyes. Now from there, we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So we've flexed and we've extended. So now you can take your roller. I'm just using the mat, just in case you don't have a roller. And you're just going to bring yourself up and onto your roller or your mat. And from there, think about the foot position that suits you best. Is that a diamond leg position? Is it feet flat, like so? We can do both. Maybe on the roller, you feel that you are more stable with a flat foot position. Be careful the feet aren't too close, because that's going to send the pelvis back and tip you backwards. And just feel that you are nice and flat onto both of your feet, imagine there is a ball in between your knees. You could even take a pillow, a towel, something in between your knees if you know that you struggle with stability through the pelvis. And we're just going to sit for a moment. And I want you to think about your spinal position. Imagine you were lying on a roller, and again, the back of the head, the middle of your shoulder blades, the middle of your sacrum, they're all in good alignment. Exactly as we were when we were doing the bar class, thinking about good posture, open collarbones, lengthened shoulder blades. Now from there, I want you to bring both arms up, a little bend into your elbows. Feel the low hairline gently drawing in, squeezing the imaginary ball between the knees. And I'm simply going to bring one elbow back, not lifting the shoulder or lifting the elbow, just keep it in alignment with about the armpit. Then I'm going to send the other fingertips forwards. I'm going to straighten out the back arm, bring both of my thumbs up, pull the shoulder blades in my mind a little away from each other, and then slowly from there take my eyes to look all the way back towards that back hand, bringing it all the way back and palms face down again. So we try the other side, elbow, fingertips. Reach the arm out without lifting the shoulder. Both thumbs come up, pull the shoulder blades a little apart, and from there, allowing yourself to look at the back hand all the way back, 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 back. And we repeat, try and get a little bit of flow into this. Fingertips forwards, back arm reaches out. Thumbs are up, pull the shoulder blades a little apart, drive those seat bones down, and then look towards that back hand all the way back, palms face down. Two more this side, one more the other side. Fingertips forwards, reaching that back arm back. Now just be careful, has your pelvis twisted? Are you getting tense in your feet? Relax something. Keep breathing. Bring your thumbs up. Allow those shoulder blades to pull apart a little and looking towards that back hand all the way back to the start. We'll do one more each side. So elbow, fingertips, arm out stretches, thumb, shoulder blades pull apart a little and grow super tall up through the soft palate in the roof of the mouth and look towards that back hand, bringing it all the way back, palms face down. Last one, bringing your elbow back, your fingertips forwards, your arm straightens out, the thumbs come up. Feel that you can pull those shoulder blades a little apart, watch you're not twisting your pelvis, and let your eyes come all the way towards the back hand, all the way back, bringing your arms down, and let your bottom come down. It might be that you just stretch your hips for a moment, whatever feels good to you, a little back extension perhaps, a little flexion perhaps. So we've just done rotation of the middle upper back. We've done extension of the middle upper back in a supine, a facing up position. Now we're going to do it facing down. So we don't need kit anymore. We don't need this. And we're going to come carefully down onto our stomachs, bringing it all the way down. And just because we're very used to it, also you might be sitting more these days, we're just going to open the hip up as we always do with a little bit of a quad stretch. So really focusing on lovely length through the neck. Keep your hip socket, knee and ankle in good alignment. Maybe move a little from side to side to make sure there's no skin trapped or any tension in the back. You're going to bend one knee. You're going to hold the toes of that foot. Now remember, if this is too difficult for you, you can just lengthen that thigh bone and reach it away from you. I can still feel that that bottom is working, the hip is opening. So if you can, you bend the knee, you hold the toes, relax the shoulders, looking straight down. Again, think lengthen sacrum and let your hip crease right where you would bend to sit down in the hip. I want you to imagine opening, lengthening that hip crease, pushing the thigh bone away from you, down through the knee. If you have a good healthy knee, you can pull the foot a little more in towards you. Again, lengthen that thigh bone and bring the thigh bone in towards your hamstring. Relax your shoulders. Watch the abdominals aren't completely relaxed to the mat. Just bring the bottom ribs in a touch and send the sacrum away from you. And then slowly we do exactly the same on the other side. Remember, if you can do one, not the other, then this one again, you can just lengthen that thigh bone, lifting it a little, but be careful you don't completely twist your hips. So you're trying to keep this area here as close to the mat as possible, not seeing space under your hips like this. If you have a good healthy knee, we bend, we hold the foot, relax the shoulders. We've done a lot of these in the class, so I'm confident that you know your own form. Pushing length into the thigh bone. If you can, pull that heel a little more in towards your bottom, but only do that if you have a good healthy knee joint. Remember the bottom ribs, the lengthened sacrum, the relaxed shoulders. And if you can, from there, further progression would be to bring the thigh bone up and into the back of the leg. Holding and breathing, slowly bringing it all the way back down. So we've opened the hip up. Let's think now about these upper back muscles, strengthening them. So I want you to think about something really simple. That's just our dart to begin with. And we'll build upon that basic back extension. So you could begin, you could maybe have your palms flat onto the floor and just let your nose hover just away from your mat. Think about the length at the back of the neck. Now your thigh bones, you're pushing them down towards your heels, down towards your ankles, but try and have your feet as relaxed as possible. And from there, I just want you to think about your pelvis. Be careful that you're not allowing yourself to be completely collapsed in the low back. So send the sacrum gently away from you and be aware of those bottom ribs. Allow your arms now just hover. You may even begin with your hands by your sides, but I want you just to hover the arms off the mat. So both arms are evenly hovered off the mat. Open your collarbones a little, holding and breathing here. Now from there, if you can, go into your original anatomy poster mat. Remember the external rotation of the upper arm bone. Holding and breathing. If it goes into your low back at all, watch you haven't lifted your head, your neck, your chest too high. Now again, from here, check in with the sacrum long and lengthened, the bottom ribs pulling in. And just see if you could open your collarbones a little touch wider, lifting the head just so that it's level with the rest of your spine. You'll feel if you brought it too high. Be careful that your chin is not leading. So try and keep your eyes facing straight down and just hold and breathe here. Holding and breathing. This is our most basic version. If you need to keep your hands by your side or your hands on the floor, then please do. Hold and breathe and let everything come down. And we're going to do that again. So slowly from here, might be that the hands start by your sides. Inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, the lengthen sacrum, bottom ribs in, collarbones widen, arms elevate from the floor, open into that upper arm extension. So spinning the palms towards the floor, keep those collarbones open, think about the length at the back of your neck, and just hold and breathe. Holding and breathing, reaching lovely length into your spine. Letting it come all the way back down and pause. We're going to do one more of these. So I'm hoping that you can feel middle back working. So those muscles shortening, strengthening your middle upper back. And again, inhale to prepare. As you exhale, start to try and get everything to flow together. Opening the collarbones. Send the sacrum just a little away from you. Shouldn't feel that muscles are gripping or overworking. Bottom ribs pulling in. Those collarbones open, spinning the upper arm bone around. Think about your breath. Breathe into the back and the base of your lungs. Reach the thigh bones away from you. Note I'm keeping my toes down. If you're more comfortable lifting the legs, then you might prefer to be there. And then slowly we'll bring it all the way around. Take hand over hand and rest palm over palm and your forehead onto the palms. Now we're just going to do a little just break point almost, doing our bottom. So we're going to do a little bit of swimming legs, so little flutter kicks.
So from here, take a wide full inhale, and as you exhale, just lengthen one leg away from you and lift it. And allow yourself to bring it back down. And again, inhale wide and full, and lengthen from your thigh bone the other leg. So not letting the pelvis change, we lengthen the first leg and bringing it back down. Lengthen, if you're more comfortable lifting your head, neck and chest up a little bit, then please do. Lengthen and lower. Try not to bend at your knee. If you bend at the knee, you're going to use too much hamstring, which is here, and not so much bottom, which is what we're actually looking for to open the hip up. Lifting and lowering. Now, if you can, you're going to lift, not too high, lift the other leg. And we're going to move into like a little flutter kick, sending the sacrum away, the bottom ribs in, and we just kick, 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 kick. It's not about height. If you would prefer to have your upper back, head, neck and chest working in a slightly extended position, then please do. Kick, 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 kick. Keep reaching length into that sacrum. Kick, 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 kick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause and lower down. Now maybe you need a rest, but we're going to keep working that bottom if you've got a little bit left in the tank. So from there, you're going to externally rotate your legs now. So that means taking them out away from each other so the heels come towards each other, the toes move towards the outside edges of the mat. Take a wide full inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to elevate both legs, and we're going to pull the heels together. Keep the legs as straight as you can, and we're going to beat those heels for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. And again, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Can you keep those legs as straight as possible? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. 2 more sets. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. I know you can make your legs straighter. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. Hold, squeeze the legs together and lower everything back down. So I want you just to stretch your back for a moment. Lift it up and bringing it back, and just take a little stretch. So whatever feels good to you, and I always say this, whatever feels good to your back. So that might just be lying here. That might be a little rock from side to side. It's entirely up to you. Just being still might be enough just to give you a release. Perhaps from there you would take your hands to one side of your mat, lifting your opposite seat bone up and over the heel. That might be a good stretch for you. It's up to you. Just take a little moment. And again, we can take the hands to the other side, coming up to come over that opposite heel. So what we're looking for is your opposite seat bone. So if my hands have come to the left, then my right seat bone comes up and over my right heel, the outside edge of my right heel. You might want to do that a couple of times just to make sure we get that nice stretch. So we're not done with extension. Remember, this really is a sort of extension segment I wanted to work on. We're going to add a little bit of rotation to this. So come back down to your mat, like so. And do you remember we did all the diamond press work? So rather than hand over hand, we're now going to have almost like a diamond shape, okay, with first finger and thumb. And the head is just in a good aligned position again. The nose is just hovering off the mat. And I'm going to take my diamond position apart a little. And I'm going to position the elbows so that I feel that they're not so high that they're creeping my shoulders up towards my neck and pinching my neck. So I'm bringing them down just a little so that I feel good and comfortable through the neck. We're going to elevate the head, neck and chest ever so slightly. So very similar to the first stage of our dart. And then from there, still with those diamond position or diamond press position hands, just check in again with lengthened thigh bones, lengthened sacrum, lifted ever so slightly the bottom ribs, relax the shoulders, relax something. Be it your cheekbones, your hairline, your shoulders, your collarbones. And then on an exhale, you're going to elevate just one arm. I'm not letting the shoulder lift. I'm not letting the elbow lift. It's quite literally like there was a puppet string attached to the elbow and the hand, and lower it back down. And again, as I breathe out, I lift the other. Now, one side might be more challenging than the other. Remember all your principles of back extension that you taught yourself in the dart prior to this. And lower back down. So this may be where we stay. I'm still breathing wide and full into the back and the base of the lungs. Now, if you can, you're going to elevate one, pause. Without letting my head come any higher, on an exhale, we elevate the other. Now, that might be enough for you. You might hold, you might breathe, and you might bring it back down, and you might take a break. But if you can, we're going to elevate one, we're going to elevate the other, you're going to hold. Now I'm going to take the right arm out to the side. I'm going to bring it down by my side. I'm going to look to the right, and I'm going to imagine a little spine twist, like we did a moment ago, sitting on the roller, sitting on the rolled up mat. And then we're going to bring it all the way back, hover, and we do the same on the other side. So long neck, arm comes out to the side. It comes by your side. We look to the left. Keep the collarbone open, and we're going to find a little rotation. If we're going to the left, it's an anti-clockwise rotation. Bringing it all the way back. Keep from the waist down, absolutely stable. We go to the right. We bring the right arm down. We look to the right. And open, open, open. So it's an extension with rotation. Bringing it back. And we go again, out to the side with the left arm. Down by the side with the left arm. Look to your left, long neck, open collarbones, relaxed shoulder blades. And I'm bringing, and it's millimeters, a little rotation towards the ceiling of the rib cage. Bringing it back, out to the right. Bringing the hand to the right, looking to the right. And again, open, open. So I'm hovering my left arm. If you'd like to keep that left arm down, please do. And all the way back. We've just got one more. To the left, down by the side. Look to your left. Open the collarbone a little and find that rotation. Bringing it back. Hands come down. Take a little movement. Take your hands back. Push carefully back up. And again, can you take a stretch? Release your back. Breathe into the back and the base of your lungs, whatever feels good to you. That might be a little box position. It might be a lengthen of your tail, bringing the bottom ribs, the middle ribs, the upper ribs, the breastbone. It might be everything coming into cat stretch and everything moving a little away into a little Blackpool donkey or a back extension. We did these last week, so they should be relatively fresh in your mind. This might not be where you're at your most relaxed. You might be better down here. But we could also circumduct by taking the imaginary dogtail to one side, coming into the cat stretch, dogtail to the other side, and all the way around. We just want to move that back. And then you can go the other way. Around and up, around and up. And pause. Now, whenever you can, we'll come into an upside down V position. Push those heels down, spike your seat bones, widen your elbows a little, and breathe. And you might bend your knees to do this, but either feet to hands or hands to feet, and we're going to slowly restack all the way back up. We're going to finish with a little bit of shoulders. So if you have a band, great. If you don't have a band, it doesn't matter. You might hold a long belt, you might hold a long towel or something that gives you something to focus on. But I'm going to use a band. If you have a band, please do use it. So feet are hip socket width apart. Relax your shoulders, open your collarbones, heavy tail, bottom ribs in. Remember the posture that we did in the bar work. You're going to bring your arms up. I'm holding between first finger and thumb the band if you have one. Bringing it up,
taking it out a little, taking it back, and really feel that lovely stretch through the front of your chest. And again, we take it back, take it out, lift it up. You can lift your eyes a little, bringing it all the way back down. And again, bringing it all the way up, taking it out, taking it back. Feel the collarbones open without overly sticking your ribs out. Palms can face forwards, taking it back, out, up, lift, 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 and all the way back down. Now, if you can from here, bring your arms up. Now, you don't need to use the band for this if you don't want to. We're going to bring it down, laterally flexing, reaching the hand all the way down. So now we've got a lovely stretch, I'm hoping, through the waist. From there, you can bring the underside arm up. I've relaxed that underside shoulder. It's a nice horizontal arm. A little deeper through the waist. And then use your waist to bring it all the way back up. And we would flow, come across to the other side. Really relax that underside shoulder. Holding and breathing. You can bring that underside arm up. A little deeper if you wish. Bringing it all the way back up, back up, back up. One more each side. Nice lateral flexion. Pushing that hand down. Relax the shoulder. Other hand right up towards the ceiling. Let your eyes relax, let your neck relax just by looking down. Then that underside arm comes up. You can hip sway a little more into that stretching side if you want a deeper stretch, but always make sure that you even the weight out onto both feet before you come all the way back up. And again, all the way down, reach. Bring that arm up, a little hip sway into that if you wish. All the way back, evenly weight onto the feet, and then all the way back up, back up, back up. And for the last time, take it out, take it back, stretch that chest. And again, taking it back, open your chest, lift your heart all the way up and over and all the way back down. And you can just circle your shoulders all the way back and back and back. So we have done lateral flexion. We've done extensions, and we've done flexions, and we've done rotations, just to keep your spine moving. There will be more to come, but you've got the bar, you've got that lovely way to keep your spine moving, keep your spine lubricated. And I'll be back very soon with another little snippet. Thank you so much. Stay well, stay healthy. Sun is shining. Have a lovely day.